Now is the time, but later on it will.
At the sandbags!
How's that Cantus doing? Friends can't get too many good shots on me. Gotta get shot now. Yep. Lovely. Damn it.
Who's next?
Good way to... Come on, take the bait, take the bait, take the bait. Ah, I thought it was
Good to go. No. That's gonna hurt.
Oh, big guy. They aren't really that smart when it comes to hand grenades. Especially the venom stuff, especially the bigger guys, they always run through it, thinking that they'll survive. But the Pathfinder damn it.
I'm out.
Where the hell is Dawn? Dawn, do something, you lazy bastard. Why are you sitting on your sniper doing absolutely nothing? Nope, I died. Oh my god. The ankles are splayed everywhere. Oh, this game's so much fun when the AI doesn't do anything. But I know why it's not. It's Pathfinder. So
Here comes some more.
it thinks it should stay there instead of following me down. It also doesn't realize I'm in a dangerous position. It's standing like a dumbass. Let's stop.
Gotcha. Lock and move.
I hate the fact they keep spooning me back into these right little nuke.
Behind the crate. That's gonna hurt.
Down. Down. Oh god.
Blood mouse!
There's 2 sniper shots left. That hit or did that miss? the almighty shotgun.
Don't mind if
No
I
one of you
do.
bastards might have. Really like a shotgun. No shotguns. No, I want the gun too. Don't have any use for the sniper anymore. I've used it all up. Well, I guess it's the Lancer, and then I'll just have to pray I don't get screwed or something. Alright. Let's do this.
At the car! Not what we need. Incoming!
Oh god, suicide bombers. He's down.
Nice!
Can you tell? Sniper rounds are better than yours. See?
Gotcha!
Him. Oh, well, I should have known that was good. That one did.
Control, we're through the Archives building and are now approaching Cooper Street. We're about a half a click from the sinkhole. Keep you posted. Delta out.
Volpack's back with the toner. Alright.
Take the street. I'll sweep the garage.
One bullet. Oh,
Out the barrier!
Oh, yes.
Did enough to me.
And kept It is really funny that the kids going up going. Probably because they know I can get down. Nice.
Nice! Gotcha! Who's next?
Yeah, if we shoot the big guys off. Got the Magnum ain't that overkill.
Gotcha!
Calm down.
That's gotta hurt.
Gotta hurt. So bad.
Cover coming down! Watch out!
Nah, not gonna hurt. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna go for the masher now.
This'll do.
Alright, that's good. Come on, man. Come on, brother.
That all you
Why'd you charge me? I like how it goes boom, but oh god, damn, I hate AI. I hate you so much. You don't get to the side or right in the middle, right where I can't get in there.
Delta, we have reports of heavy Locust activity between you and the sinkhole. Fortunately, the Hammer of Dawn satellites are online. You'll just need a clear line of sight to the sky.
Roger, Control. Delta. Enemy reinforcement! Shit, the roof's coming down! Move back! Move back!
Good hammer of dawn. See how that's what them crispy bits doing. What else you got for me? Oh, I'd have to be getting close to the end here. I feel like it's
The beginning of the end.
Never thought they'd get to Jacinto.
I guess it was just a... Let's use the cranes to get across.
well, the chances of this thing shutting down are there, but I like it.
Come on, Marcus, let's go.
Oh wait, do I bring it to the left? I said, come on, Marcus, let's go. So maybe I can do that. That's right. Go left, go down.
Tom, get on the platform!
Yeah, Dom gets on it. Dom, kill it. He's also an idiot because of AI. Yeah, I'll just sit down
Okay,
there.
Tom, get in that crane and get me across.
Y'all down there still shooting at him? Watch this.
That's gonna hurt. That's not what I had in mind, but that'll work.
Just go. Kill is epic. I do remember this mission though from the beta they did on this game. I forget how much of it was available. I know they had it up until the boom hack. And then when you got to the boom hack, the game stopped. And then it stopped. I don't know where it's at, but it should be here. I know a reap, I don't know a curve. like how that they were directly on it. Never got
See a thing.
Marcus, what's your status?
We're about halfway down the sinkhole. We're still trying to figure out how to get to the bottom.
Copy that. We've almost finished loading the bomb onto the chopper. They should be headed in your direction within minutes.
Hopefully we'll be in place by the time they get here. I'll report in when we've made it to the tunnels below.
Come on,
Delta
Marcus,
out.
I get it. Take your hand off
you
your
all right?
hallelujah.
All good, Marcus.
That's them. Dead now. Anything but that. You suck with it. You're an AI.
Scratch one grub.
It's laziness now.
We need to get to that building on the other side. Looks like we got a way across. Burn, baby. Shit, not again! Shit!
Perfectly fine.
Check it out! Let's get down there. That all you got?
The dog sucks because all he uses is a sniper and it doesn't do anything.
We've got a boombox down there! It's firing on the building! Grab hold of something! Shit, not again!
Oh god. Fine, just fine.
Keep moving! This place isn't gonna last long!
Use that idea, Marcus. The fact that it's on the side or the fact that it's on freaking fire?
Come on, come on!
Oh, we're gonna go sideways. Oh, my friend.
caverns were one thing, but a Brumach?
If they can ride them, so can we.
Yay, I got pipsqueak. Come on, let's go, pipsqueak.
Control, Delta here. We've hijacked the Brumach so that we can...
What?
We're riding a Brumach. We're gonna use it to clear the area faster.
Okay. Roger that, Delta. Keep us posted. Control out.
I've got the guns. You take the cannon.
Hello, Red. How are you? No, not allowed. Tiny in comparison. Yeah, how's that feel getting blocked?
Smash the doors. Love peep squeak. Peep squeak. Look at the nose. That thing is we get killed, we get stabbed pretty good by that thing. Of course, yeah. What the hell?
like the easiest way to get that achievement. Every time you kill like the 100,000 people kills, like that's the easiest way to do it because it's so stupidly cheap. But you kill a lot of enemies.
Target area is clean and we have a clear path for the Ravens.
Roger that, Delta. Ravens are inbound. Pull out.
Something's wrong, Marcus!
Marcus, dumb, crazy bastard! We're coming down to get you off that thing! Roger that, Baird. We're more than ready. I'm still here, Marcus. We're coming in.
Marcus, we're screwed! We lost the lightmass bomb!
So close. There's gotta be a way.
Like it was
What the hell is going on with that thing?
I don't know.
Almost looks like it's going lambent.
Lambent? Is it exploding lambent?
Yeah, like the wretches, but way bigger.
Then I think we've got our bomb.
this little bitch. We lost this.
Got it!
Anya, are you there?
There we go. Let the hauler. Easiest win.
Your world can end in the blink of an eye. One event, one unexpected twist of fate, and suddenly the world as you knew it is gone forever.
Anya, can you read me? Anya, come in! Anya!
All that you held dear, all that you held close, is washed away into the sea of distant memory.
I'm sorry, Marcus.
Don't let her keep bastards on a boat.
Is cruel. Of this I have no doubt. But life continues on, with or without you. One can only hope that one leaves behind a lasting legacy. But so often, the legacies that we leave behind are not the ones that we intended.
Alright, hello everybody, this is Demon. So I'm actually making this as the Gears 2 finale overview. I've been needing to make this video probably for like the last week? Several days? Don't remember. Probably several days. So what I was going to say was, I wanted to give an opinion on what I think of Gears 2, and I couldn't do it while playing the game. And I don't have access, I haven't watched the content for a bit because the content is currently sitting in my files ready to be edited and cut up. So I know whenever I finished Gears 2 I was streaming it on Twitch and I didn't want to just say what my ideas were on it on Twitch, so I wanted to save it for this. So yeah, so I would have to say this much. Gears 2 is actually a really good game. I like Gears 2. It's an improvement on Gears 1. And I can say that because of this. Gears 1 has one essential problem in its campaign, and I will say in certain features of the game overall, just because of the way this thing lays out. So if you play Gears 1, and you've watched either my campaign, you played it yourself, or you've watched somebody else's and they don't cut out some of the stuff, one main issue I always run into that is a major problem is Marcus, which is you play it single player, and you don't get downed, you just die. But if you play co-op, you stay up. They fixed that. I can now not die when I'm down. I don't think I ever died except for maybe one or two situations where I got blown up or something happened that resulted in my death. And I laughed at it when it happened because it was kind of funny. Besides that, I don't think I've ever ran into an issue in Gears 2 that made me overly mad when it happened. So that's one thing I can say they did improve on. Other things, they improved the AI a fair bit. Now, there's going to be a couple situations when you guys are watching the Stream VOD edited videos, which are, sometimes the AI are right next to me and they do a really, really good job. Like when these guys have their Lancers and stuff in their hand, they do fine. Nashers and stuff, they'll go and kill the enemies for you and help a lot. But the moment they get rid of those guns, they start to suck. Especially towards the later parts of the game where Dom only had access to a sniper rifle. I seen how bad he was because if he missed a shot, he doesn't active reload. He takes a slow reload. 1. 2. He's not overly, and he doesn't switch his gun out, so that's another problem, which kind of hampered him a fair bit. Other things I have issues with is campaign. They do flush out the campaign a lot more compared to Gears 1. They do get more story into this, and I love it. Um, I like the idea of humanity sitting in its last known um, territory, which is Jacinto, which is the only reason it's survived because it's like it's been built over like a very um, heavily, well, you can't say fortified, but a very natural formation of that's underneath it, a really good foundation to build off of, because the Locusts haven't been able to drill underneath it as successfully as they've been at other places, digging through it and stuff. But that's when it comes into the Riftworm. I would say the first act of the game is pretty cool. I like the idea of being able to send in on the offensive to attack the Locusts at their home. I like that idea. Like, humanity's like, if we just sit here and keep fighting them, they're going to kill us. They seem to breed a lot faster than us. They've been killing us and making us fall back to these areas. We got to put on the offensive. I like the whole beginning section of being able to train Carmine's brother, Ben, or not training him. I like the fight in the city. It's pretty cool. I like the idea of getting in and then going on the one operation, then use the grind lifts and stuff. That's really cool. Scourge, I'm a little bit on the fence with. Him, I'm not a big fan of. I don't like him as a new General Rom. I'll get more into him later, but I like the fact that he has the Darth Maul sort of style with the two chainsaw things, but I really question it when we start fighting him as Marcus, because it kind of goes the same way like when I used to play Judgment, which I'm never playing Judgment again. I don't care what any of you say. You can sit there and say, Demon, play Judgment, play... No, I hate Judgment. It's horrible. It's horrific. Never again. I went through one time, and I hated every moment of it. It's still going on. I like the idea of bringing in the Riftworm. It's a strange thing, though, in my opinion, because I'm like, we have this mighty super weapon, the Riftworm, and it goes through killing. It's like nobody noticed this giant freaking worm before us. Nobody like went in and investigated half the stuff. You don't see this giant hole in the wall where a freaking worm could be, and somehow nobody notices that. Really weird. Then you get to the point where like I guess it eats your characters, and then you go through it. That's actually, it's really freaking weird that they set it up that way, but at the same time, I like the idea of like killing it from the inside out, which is something different. But I don't know if I'm a big fan of the 3 or 4 hearts they give it, because I made mention, I think, in a video, which I think is stupid, which is if it has 3 hearts, if you cut and its power and it's supplying it full of blood, if you cut one of those hearts, it's still gonna bleed to death. Like, you cut off one of its hearts, and it only has 2 of the 3 remaining. And that's where all the blood's flown, is those last 2. It's like, but the other one's still cut. That's like if you do with our hearts. You hit one of your veins, like a major vein or a major artery, you can bleed out really fast. We went right next to the heart and gave it a chainsaw bypass, for Christ's sakes. That's gonna kill it after, like, a while. If you kill when you get to the second heart, at that point the third one is like in a panic. It's like, so how do you think it's going to be able to do anything if 2 of its 3 hearts are out, and then you chainsaw the last one, then it dies? I'm a little on the fence with that idea, but the idea of it's still kind of cool in my mind and kind of weird. The other thing I like is going into that the one outpost area that when we got access to the Centaur, that was kind of cool too, because I completely forgot about it in Gears 5. Like, whenever I heard Marcus saying that stuff, I was like, and I played through Gears 5, I think the first time, I didn't really think about it. Whenever I was playing it with you guys and I was recording it, I went, wait a minute, this is Gears 2, and I went, what the hell? And then I, like, all my memories started flooding back, and I'm glad I played this game. It made me really happy. Other things. I like the going through there, the sires. The sires aren't nearly as much of a bitch. The only difference between the sires in this one and compared to 5, 5 they die when you shoot and kill them. This one they get back up and they're annoying. Really annoying. And I hate them. Other things I like with it is going through the maps and playing up to the third act. The third act's kind of cool too, because it's like, we're just gonna flood Jacinto. It's like, how many people were in Jacinto? You guys just came up with this plan. Like, it would take us in a mass evacuation, even with all these KR units, the King Ravens, how did you evacuate your entire population from the city? That's a lot of freaking people. Um, I like the idea of being able to or use the Reavers to fly around with. That's kind of cool. And that's where I hate Scourge. Like, I hate him. He sucks. I hate the fact that, like, you go inside the Queen's main base. I like the idea of finally bringing the Lambent in and getting that conflict between them and the Locust, because it gives you an idea of why the Locust have been attacking humanity. It's not because they actually want to fight humanity. It's because the Lambent have been fighting the Locust. The Locusts have been losing these battles with them, and they've had no choice but to go to the surface to fight humanity because the Queen thought she thinks she has better odds against humanity than the Lambent. Which I don't blame her for thinking that. The theory's there. I mean, humanity's been killing itself in the Pendulum Wars, and it finally got peace brought on when you attacked. So I don't know how useful that was in the long run. It's like, if you would have attacked during the Pendulum Wars, it would have got real. But they didn't. They waited until after, and there was some weeks of peace, or at least like a week or two of peace. So it's kind of weird that they did it that way. Other things. Scourge dies like in a weird way, like he just falls off and just breaks his spinal column and he bleeds to death. I'm just like, not like Rom. Like Rom, you actually fight him and kill him. I like the idea of the one Brumac going frickin' lambent and then blows up. Although it makes me question it because it's just like, well, we killed because it's just like we haven't. I don't think you find any lambent wrenches in the game. It's just that one situation where they come in. So I don't know. Like they don't make you fight. I think any of the lambent in Gears 2. It's only Gears 3 that you finally start fighting them. That they flesh out Dom's character, finally giving him a reason to show why he's fighting, which is his wife Maria. I like the idea of them showing her like she's been. The best way to describe it is just labor death camps. Like it's like I'm a World War II nut. Like I can get into that history pretty hardcore. So when I see her like that, first thing I go to is like what went through during the war in Europe. That's the first thing my mind goes to. I'm like, holy crap, that's something what it would look like. Jesus Christ. Ty's a good example of what happens. He is one of the strongest, toughest guys in the group, and he ends up shooting his own head off with a smasher because they tortured him to hell. And it's because he was fighting the Scourge. I think we don't find out what happens to Vizzy, so we don't know where he's at in this part of the story, but Ty dies. Gets captured, they torture him, and they even show you his back, which is like his skin has been like cut in between, like in different sections, and they have these hooks driven into him like he's cattle. Like it is hardcore, like evil stuff you're seeing, and it's insane. Story-wise, as I said, it feels longer than Gears 1. It feels more fleshed out. It feels like there's actually more fun here. The only thing we missed out on was the mission DLC that they added later, which is something they removed, which is when Dom finds Maria and he kills her, there's a thing where Marcus sits there and says, I have a way of getting us in, but if you want to go in guns blazing, I don't blame you. There is a DLC that I didn't have access to, and I still don't, which is you can play the game where you and Dom hide as Theron guards and just walk through Locust Central and just get to the Queen. It's more of a stealth mission, so it's something like they created because they thought because some people I think wanted to do it, so they ended up making it and releasing it since people were so adamant about it. They do add some good new weapons into the game that I kind of like. I like the introduction of the Flammenwaffe. I think I'm still saying that wrong, but I might be saying it right, which I love this thing. This thing's neat. I think they add that. They add the ink grenades, which is a nice addition. That's more useful, I think, for like, in comparison to players, it's good to annoy a player in like multiplayer, but it was really fun to do it as like a trap in or to use them against Locust in Horde mode, which is really good. The Gorgon pistol, I think it's called the Gorgon, is the auto pistol that Cantus get access to. That's actually another nice gun they added to the game, even though I never used it personally. I'm still a bigger fan of the Boltok. In terms of other weapons, is there any other weapons they added to the game? I think they added those ones. I don't think there's any other close range weapons. I don't think there's any other. Oh yeah, and they switched the hammer burst. The hammer burst switched from a triple burst gun in Gears 1, which was OP as hell. And I hate that gun in campaign because the AI are really cheap with it. But it's just as cheap for you to have it because you kill the Locust just as fast. But they got rid of it and they switched the hammer burst to single fire. So it's kind of more, it's kind of like a DMR style gun, which is a real weird rate of fire. There are special ways to use all these guns to kill things. I just can't remember how to unlock it. I think you gotta kill something with this gun so many times to get access to it. I could be wrong, but it's still pretty neat. Although the only issue I ever had with the game was multiplayer. Its base multiplayer was for matchmaking sucked because it could take you forever to get into games. It was fun, but when you spend like 5, 10, 15 minutes trying to find a game and matchmaking just sucks, that's pinnacle of irritation. Horde mode is a great addition. I love this game's Horde mode because it's actually really challenging and I like it. The new enemies they bring in, the grinders, the maulers with their freaking coming in there swinging these freaking maces of frag grenades is pretty cool. Cantuses are a nice addition. I enjoy everything with this game. I forget what... So if I had to rate it, I'd say this game deserves it a little... There's some things in the story I wish they could have changed. I don't like Scourge that much. Some of the gameplay is good. They did improvements. I would definitely say if they could have flushed out a bit more story and maybe fixed the matchmaking a bit more, they could have had a game that I really would have fell in love with. But I do have a lot of fond memories of Gears 2, so I give it a 9. I love Gears 2. This is one of the better Gears. It's much better than 4. I can definitely tell you this much because this one's actually really fun. I like all the new additions they add. They add things that started working for Gears. They remove things that were getting a problem. They updated the AI to where they're actually useful. They added new guns that the people would actually like to have. They added the Horde mode, which became pinnacle, where I think almost every other game at the time started adopting it because it became so popular with Gears. Because Gears had a really good one on, like, you could play a few of the maps and really have fun, like, digging in and creating a defensive area. And it's really old-fashioned, too, so you couldn't buy anything. You just had to use the weapons and tools given to you. So it's like if you had the guys with the shields coming at you and you kill them, you could get, like, maybe a half a dozen or more shields and just fortify a spot. And it would glitch out a lot of the other AI, Locust, because they couldn't get past certain things. Because if you aim the shield forward and you can get behind it as cover, what ends up happening is the Locust come over and kick it and knock it down. If you flipped it the other way, they could get in the cover, but they couldn't kick it down unless they jumped over it. So, and I don't think the AI were smart enough to know how to get behind the shield cover, so it worked in your favor to do it the opposite way. So it was really fun doing that. So yeah, I love this Gears. They added a lot. They also added the mortar gun, everything. I love this Gears. It's fun. Then they also added to where you could get like the photo modes and stuff and like have replays and watch them. So it's a definite 9. I love Gears 2. It's a fun Gears. I like Gears 3 too. Gears 5 is not too bad, but if I had to rate Gears 2, it's a 9. I love this game. It's so much fun. I love every idea of it. There's a few things story-wise I wish they could have switched, but it's so good. So, yeah, that'll be the end of Gears 2, guys. Hope everybody's okay with it. I had to kind of make this several days later, so my memory of everything is kind of wearing out. I still have some real fresh memories, but if I rewatch the videos, I probably just remember everything I said. So please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Next time I see you guys, it's going to be Halo. And I'm already done with the whole game, so I'll see you then. Thanks.